Have you ever pictured yourself as a violinist, maybe wanting to learn a little bit more about playing the violin and the structure and the body and the finger patterns and the staff of the violin? Well, today we're going to be talking about those exact three things and getting a little bit of a better understanding of how to play and the basics of playing the violin. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So I actually have visuals so you can get a little bit of a idea of what I'm talking about visually. So we're going to start with the overall structure or the body of the violin, and I'm only going to talk about a few of these just to save some time because it's probably not too interesting to learn about. But we're going to start with the structure in the body. So you have the wooden body right here, and then you have this kind of weird looking black board situation, which is called the fingerboard. And then on that, you have 4 strings, G, D, A, and E, and each string makes a different pitch, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But you have those, and then you have the tuning pegs, and then your fine tuners down here, which is how you tune your instrument to the sound that it needs to be at. And then you have your chin rest, which is where you rest your chin, and then right under that you will put your shoulder rest on the opposing side of the violin. And some people use shoulder rest, some don't. It's really just for comfort purposes. But yeah, so now we're going to be talking about the bow. The bow, you have this frog, which is the piece with the white circle on it right here, and then you have the bow hairs right here, which is actually made out of horsehair, and then you have the bow stick, and then the tip of the stick, and the bow stick and the tip of the stick kind of hold the frog and the bow hair together so you can play like that. And then you have a tension screw at the end, which is where you will tighten or loosen your bow, because fun fact, you actually have to have your bow in between the right amount of tight and loose just so you can get that nice crisp sound. And you also put rosin on your bow, which is basically, it almost looks like solidified honey in a way, if that makes sense. I would not recommend eating it like honey, but it does look like honey, and it basically just makes your bow almost sticky, so then when you play it has, again, that crisp sound. So next we're going to be talking about the staff on the violin. So this is what a staff may look like. This is just an example of some scales. But this is a staff, and so every staff looks the same. It has the 5 lines right there. And depending on which note is, where the note is on the staff or below or above the staff, depends on the sound that you're going to play. And so basically that's how you read music. So it would be like, that's actually a G sharp, and then it would go G, A, B flat, B natural, things like that. So that's a little bit more diving into the reading music area, which isn't really what we're going to be talking about today because that's a little complicated, but it's just some basics with the staff. On the staff, you might have something that looks like this, and that depends on what clef you're going to play in. So with violin, you play in the treble clef, and alto clef, bass clefs are also 2 different clefs for the different instruments, but with violin we play on the treble clef. So yeah, it's a little bit about the staff. Now we're going to be talking about the fingerboard and finger patterns really quickly. So like I said, the staff, wherever the notes are on the staff, depicts what note you're going to play. So this is basically where you put your fingers. So when you're reading the music, you have to put your fingers, like I said earlier, on the fingerboard, which is that black board right here on the strings. And basically you put your fingers there and it makes a certain pitch, which is the pitch that you would obviously be looking for. So there's different pitches, and they go in order of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes back around again to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. So I believe I said a few seconds ago that the 4 strings were G, D, A, and E. So there are actually different notes on each one, and those create different pitches. So yes, that is a little bit about the fingerboard and finger patterns. So to wrap things up, we talked about the outline and the overall body or structure of a violin along with the bow. And then we also talked about the staff and kind of the different clefs and how to read music in the most basic way ever. And then also we talked about the fingerboard and the finger patterns. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I look forward to seeing your videos all virtually within the next few minutes when I respond. Thank you.